Everyone, you have asked for it and now I'm here at your rescue. So let's get right into it. Now, quadratic expression. Now, quadratic comes from the word quad, which means square. Now, in this expression, the highest degree is squared. Alright, now the quadratic expression is normally in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, we have some special letters in this expression. All right, so the first term is x squared. Now the a represents the coefficient of x squared, the b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant. All right, so let's move right into an example. Now here we have a quadratic expression. So yes, the highest degree is 2, all right? So this makes a quadratic expression. Now, how do we factor a quadratic expression? Well, we will first identify the coefficient of x squared, the coefficient of x, and the constant. That is, a is equal to 1, so that's the coefficient of x squared. The coefficient of x is 7, so b is equal to 7, and the constant c is equal to 12. So there you have it. That's my first step. Now the next step is to find the product of the a and b, okay, or the coefficient of x squared and the constant. So a in this case is equal to 1, c in this case is equal to 12. Thus, a times c, so remember that a is equal to 1 and c is equal to 12. Now, the product of these two numbers is simply equal to 12. All right. Now, after finding the product of the a and c, I will now check to see if the sum of these two numbers will give me the value of b. Now, here the value of b is equal to 7. All right. So, if I add 1 and 12, my value will be 13. All right, so this is basically using a trial error method at this point. Now, those are not the two factors that I'm looking for, but what I will do, I will proceed to find other factors of 12. All right, can you think of some other factors of 12? Well, we can try 3 and 4. So 3 times 4 is equal to 12. All right, I can also try 2 times 6 because 2 times 6 will yield 12 as well. Okay, so these are two other pairs of factors that will give us 12. Now remember I told you the product of these two factors, or these two factors, the sum should give us the b term. So let's move right into it. Now let's look at the sum of 2 and 6. So if I add 2 and 6, my result will be 8. Is the b term equal to 8? No. So let us try the other pair of factors, 3 and 4. So if I add 3 and 4, that will yield 7. So there you have it. 3 and 4 are the factors that we're interested in. Moving right along. So what I will do, now that I have found the factors, 3 and 4, I will then substitute, or I will replace these two factors with the second term, which is 7x. All right, so I will have x squared, and of course I will expand the second term to have, or to include rather, these two factors, 3 and 4, that is 3x plus 4x plus 12. So there you have it. If I should add 3x plus 4x, it will definitely yield 7x. So let's get right into it. Now my next step is to factor in pairs. So I will find a common factor of the first two terms and the terms 3 and 4. All right, so let's get right into it. So if I look at the first two terms, x squared and 3x, what is common? Can you think? Well, yes, you are correct if your answer is x. So I will factor x. All right, so x squared divided by x. All right, so I can expand x squared to have x times x over x. All right, so I can get 1x out of x, and I can get 1x from the numerator, and that will yield x. All right, so factoring x into x squared, my result will simply be x. All right, so let's move on to the second term. Now the second term is 3x. Now I need to factor x out of 3x. All right, so I can get 1x from the denominator, and I can get 1x from the numerator, and that will yield 3. All right, so therefore my 3 is positive, so it's a plus 3. All right, so I hope you are understanding thus far. Let us look at third term 3 and term 4. All right, so we have 4x plus 12. Now this time our variables, we don't have a common variable. However, we have a common factor of 4 and 12. Now that common factor is 4. Now let's try to factor 4 out of these two terms. Now if we have 4x, factoring 4 would mean that I can get one set out of 4 from the denominator and one set of 4 from the numerator, leaving x. All right, so there you have it. Factoring 4 from out of 4x is simply equivalent to x. Let's move on to the fourth term, 12. Now I can get 3 sets of 4 out of 12, so that is plus 3. All right, so this 4 is a positive 4. All right, so I'm just going to put the plus there to indicate that this 4 is positive. Now let us continue. Now at this point I want to look at my expression to see if there are any common factors, all right, or if there is any common expression. Now if I look, let me use another color. If I look at this side, right, and I will compare it to this side, you will notice that x plus 3 and x plus 3 on this side, they are common. So what are we going to do at this point? We will factor x plus 3. So if let's label this 1 and 2. Now if I look at 1, all right, now I want to factor x plus 3 because x plus 3 is common. Now if I factor x plus 3 out of x bracket x plus 3, then my remainder will be x. All right, so on this side, all right, I will do the same thing. I will factor x plus 3 and I will be left with 4. So there you have it. All right, the two factors are x plus 3 and x plus 4. Wonderful, isn't it? Wonderful. And I'm certain you will definitely explore this method. All right, now what if we want to find the value of x? To find the value of x, then we can equate this portion to 0. All right, so that means I would equate x plus 3 to 0, or I can equate x plus 4 to 0 as well. All right, so subtracting 3 from both sides, I'm solving for x at this point. All right, so 3 minus 3 is 0. So therefore I can say that x is equal to 0 minus 3, or I can just simply say that x is equal to negative 3. Okay, so this is at 3. Alright. On this side, if I subtract 4 on this side as well, and also on the right hand side, 4 minus 4 is 0. So therefore I can simply say now that x is equal to 0 minus 4, or I can simply say that x is equal to negative 4. Alright, so there you have it. Alright, so let's look at a second example. So here we have the question x squared minus 7x plus 6. So the a is the coefficient of x squared, which is equal to 1. Coefficient of b is this time a negative 7. So please take note of that. And the constant is equal to 6. So once again, we find the product of a and c. So that is a times 6, and that will give us 6. So we now need to find, well, when we add 1 and 6, 1 plus 6, that will yield a positive 7. Now, positive 7 is not equal to the b term, all right? We're looking for negative 7 and not positive 7. So what we need to do, we need to go ahead and find other factors that will yield negative 7. So what if we try other factors such as negative 2 and 3? All right, so negative 2 times 3 will yield us a positive 6. However, if we find the sum of negative 2 and negative 3, our result will be negative 5. So that's not the two factors that we're looking for. So let's go again. What if our 1 is negative and the 6 is negative? All right, so negative 1 times negative 6 will yield a positive 6 for sure. So let's find the sum to see if we will be successful in finding the b term. So negative 6 and negative 1 will yield us negative 7. So there you have it, the two factors that we're looking for, negative 6 and negative 7. So let's get right into it. So we will write x squared, and remember, in place of the second term or negative 7x, I will replace with the two factors that we have found. That is negative 6x and negative 1x or negative x. It does not matter. Plus 6. So there you have it. So at this point, we will factorize by grouping the first two terms, term 3 and term 4. So the common factor of x squared and 6x is definitely x if you have guessed it correct. All right, factoring x out of x squared will yield x, as we have done in the previous example. And to factor x out of negative 6x will yield negative 6. For terms 3 and 4, let's see now. So the common factor is going to be negative 1. All right, so to factor negative 1 from negative x will yield us a positive x. All right, and factoring negative 1 out of 6, that will give us a negative 6. All right, so at this point now we want to look at the expression to see if we have a common term. All right, so x minus 6 is definitely common on both this side and this side. So factoring x minus 6 will yield, so I will write x minus 6, right? So factoring x minus 6 from the first or group 1 would yield x, all right? We're going to do the same thing on this side as well.